Stepping out of the presidency, Barack Obama found himself under a spotlight where expectations are as high as the bar is set. His life now unfolds like a captivating story, with each chapter revealing luxurious homes and stunning vacations. But what lies behind the veil of his post-presidential wealth? We are going to be exposing how Obama has been living and what he has been doing in secret behind closed doors. Let us start with the fortune he has amassed. Net worth. Before diving into the details of his current life, let's explore how Barack Obama built his financial empire and maintained his luxurious lifestyle after leaving the presidency. You might assume that Obama's wealth started rolling in only after he became president of the United States, but that's not quite the story. To really grasp how he achieved financial success, we need to rewind to the early 2000s. Back in 2004, long before his presidential journey began, Obama earned a modest salary of $80,287 as a member of the Illinois Senate. During this period, he was dedicated to serving his constituents and making strides in public service, laying the groundwork for his future political career. But his income wasn't just from politics. At that time, Obama was also a lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School, where he earned an additional $32,144, teaching the next generation of lawyers. Beyond his salaries, Obama was smart about growing his wealth. He made savvy investments, including holding assets like the Vanguard Wellington Fund, with a total value between $100,000 and $200,000. A major financial breakthrough came in 2005 when Obama ventured into the world of publishing. That year marked a significant shift in his financial trajectory with a lucrative multi-book deal from Random House. The deal included a notable $1.9 million advance for his book, The Audacity of Hope, a sum that truly boosted his financial standing. When The Audacity of Hope hit the shelves, it didn't just make waves, it made a splash. This book quickly became a bestseller, landing a coveted spot on the New York Times list for 30 weeks straight. Its impact was so profound that the audiobook version snagged the 2008 Grammy Award for Best Spoken Word Album. Clearly, Random House got their money's worth with Obama's literary debut. But that's not all. In 2005, Obama wasn't just riding the wave of his new book. He also banked over $847,000 from another book deal, this time for his earlier memoir, Dreams from My Father. This book, which offered an intimate look into his early life and family, continued to bring in revenue beyond its initial advance. The world of publishing doesn't just reward with a hefty advance. It's also about the royalties that come rolling in. Obama's financial success from his writing was no accident. In 2005 alone, he earned $378,237 from book royalties. The following year, his memoirs continued to generate significant income, with royalties totaling nearly $150,000, while The Audacity of Hope contributed another $425,000 to his growing bank account. By 2007, the royalties from his books had accumulated to an impressive nearly $3.3 million. On top of that, Obama received close to $816,000 from his literary agency, Diestel and Goderich, likely from a mix of royalties and contractual agreements. He didn't stop there. That year, he also invested in U.S. Treasury notes, a safe bet valued between $500,000 and $1 million, and started college savings plans for his daughters, each worth between $50,000 and $100,000. By the time he became president in 2008, Obama's holdings in U.S. Treasury bills ranged from $1.1 million to $5.1 million. And let's not forget the $1.4 million Nobel Peace Prize he earned after taking office. After receiving his Nobel Peace Prize, Barack Obama chose to donate the entire award to several charities. His post-presidency financial landscape has been just as dynamic. During his time in the White House from 2009 to 2015, he earned a steady $400,000 annually as president, alongside book royalties and returns from his investments. Life after the presidency brought its own financial perks. Obama began drawing a $200,000 yearly pension, and his public speaking engagements, which could command fees up to $400,000, provided a lucrative supplement. Recognizing that this income might not be sufficient for their ambitious plans, he and Michelle ventured into film production. In 2018, the Obamas founded Higher Ground Productions, which quickly made waves by signing a major deal with Netflix. They expanded their reach further in 2022 with a global, multi-year, first-look agreement with Audible. Meanwhile, Barack's 2020 memoir, A Promised Land, was part of a significant $65 million deal that also included Michelle's memoir. The book's success was immediate, selling nearly 890,000 copies in just one day. Between his best-selling books, including The Audacity of Hope and Of Thee I Sing, and the windfall from his memoir, Dreams from My Father, Obama has amassed considerable earnings. His books alone have brought in $8.8 million, with his memoir adding another $6.8 million. Adding in his government salary of $3.7 million, his income initially peaked at $5.6 million in 2009, before dipping to $450,000 by 2015 due to reduced book royalties. All these ventures and investments have contributed to an impressive net worth of a staggering $70 million. Early life and education. Barack Obama's formative years are a compelling tapestry that laid the groundwork for his future role as the 44th President of the United States. Born on August 4, 1961, at Kapiolani Medical Center in Honolulu, Hawaii, Obama was the child of a Kenyan father, Barack Obama Sr., and an American mother, Ann Dunham. Obama Sr., a member of the Luo ethnic group from Nyanza Province, Kenya, won a scholarship to study economics at the University of Hawaii. There, he met and married Ann Dunham in 1961, just 6 months before Barack Jr.'s birth. However, the marriage was short-lived and the couple separated a few years later. In 1964, Obama Sr. returned to Kenya, where he eventually remarried and took up a senior position as an economic analyst with the Kenyan government. Sadly, he was largely absent from his son's life after the separation and only visited once in 1971 before his untimely death in 1982 from a car accident. Meanwhile, Ann Dunham married again in 1965 to Lolo Swetoro, an Indonesian graduate student in geography at the University of Hawaii. The couple's new life together took them to Indonesia, where they settled first in South Jakarta and later in the more affluent central Jakarta area. At the age of 6, Obama moved with his mother and stepfather to Indonesia. During his 4 years there, he attended Indonesian schools under the name Barry and was also homeschooled in English by his mother. This period in Jakarta not only allowed him to become fluent in Indonesian, but also exposed him to a different cultural perspective. Reports suggest that his stepfather's rigorous approach provided him with a strong sense of resilience and a keen understanding of global realities. These early experiences, blending diverse cultures and educational environments, profoundly influenced the young Barack Obama and shaped the leader he would become. At the age of 10, Barack Obama returned to Hawaii to live with his grandparents and enrolled in the esteemed Punahou School. It was here that he first confronted the complexities of his mixed-race identity, an experience he later explored in his 1995 memoir, Dreams from My Father. From 1972 to 1975, Obama lived with his mother and his half-sister, Maya Swetoro, while his mother worked on her graduate degree in anthropology at the University of Hawaii. After earning her PhD in 1992, she continued her research in Indonesia, where she remained for 2 decades. Tragically, she passed away from ovarian and uterine cancer in 1995, while Obama was still grappling with her loss. After high school, Obama moved to Los Angeles in 1979 to attend Occidental College on a full scholarship. It was here that he first dipped his toes into social activism, making headlines with a speech in February 1981 advocating for the college to divest from South Africa in protest of apartheid. In the fall of 1981, Obama transferred to Columbia University in New York City, settling into an off-campus apartment on West 109th Street. There, he majored in political science with a focus on international relations and English literature, graduating in 1983 with a notable 3.7 GPA. Post-graduation, Obama spent about a year working as a financial researcher and writer for Business International Corporation. In 1985, he briefly took on the role of project coordinator for the New York Public Interest Research Group at City College of New York. 2 years after completing his studies, Obama relocated to Chicago to take up a new challenge as the director of the Developing Communities Project, marking the beginning of his commitment to community organizing and public service. In the mid-1980s, Barack Obama embarked on a transformative chapter of his career as a community organizer for a faith-based initiative. This organization brought together 8 Catholic parishes in Chicago's South Side neighborhoods of Roseland, West Pullman, and Riverdale. Obama dedicated his efforts to this project from June 1985 to May 1988, working tirelessly to improve local conditions and foster community engagement. During this period, Obama also took a significant personal journey, spending 3 weeks exploring Europe and another 5 weeks in Kenya. This trip was more than just a travel adventure. It was an opportunity to connect with his paternal relatives in Kenya for the first time, offering him profound insights and shaping his future political and personal perspectives. Despite receiving a prestigious full scholarship to Northwestern University School of Law, Obama made the bold decision to enroll at Harvard Law School in the fall of 1988. Settling in Somerville, Massachusetts, he quickly distinguished himself academically. By the end of his first year, he had become an editor of the Harvard Law Review and went on to serve as its president during his second year. His academic prowess was complemented by a role as a research assistant for the renowned constitutional scholar Lawrence Tribe. Obama graduated magna cum laude from Harvard Law School in 1991. Following his graduation, he took on a 2-year position as a visiting law and government fellow at the University of Chicago Law School. During this time, he focused on writing his first book, further cementing his commitment to both legal scholarship and public service. After earning his law degree, Obama transitioned into academia, teaching constitutional law at the University of Chicago. From 1992 to 1996, he served as a lecturer and then as a senior lecturer until 2004. His time at the university shaped his future political career, which we'll explore in more detail later. Reflecting on his childhood, Obama fondly remembers his years growing up in Honolulu. He cherished the cultural diversity and the spirit of mutual respect that Hawaii offered, which deeply shaped his worldview and core values. In his personal reflections, Obama has shared that he didn't initially notice the racial differences between his white mother and his black father. It was only as he grew older that he began to grapple with societal perceptions of his mixed-race identity. During his teenage years, he used substances like alcohol, marijuana, and cocaine as a way to cope with the identity struggles he faced. He even described being part of a self-styled group of friends who occasionally smoked marijuana together. Before he made history as the first African-American president, Obama was deeply involved in public service. In the mid-1980s, he moved to Chicago, where he made his mark as a community organizer. His work included developing tutoring programs, job training initiatives, and advocating for tenant rights in underprivileged neighborhoods. These early experiences were crucial in shaping his dedication to community service and laid the foundation for his future political endeavors. During his tenure as a lecturer and then a senior lecturer at the University of Chicago Law School, Obama delved into constitutional law, deepening his grasp of the legal and political landscape. But he didn't stop there. In 1992, he took on a significant project with Project Vote, an initiative aimed at boosting voter registration in Illinois. Under his leadership, the program employed 700 volunteers and 10 staff members, registering 150,000 out of 400,000 eligible African-American voters. This success earned him a spot on Crain's Chicago Business's 1993 list of influential people under 40. Obama's political journey took a major leap in 1996 when he was elected to the Illinois State Senate. Over his 8 years in office, he tackled key issues like ethics reform and healthcare expansion, establishing a solid track record in state politics. His achievements in Illinois set the stage for a broader national impact. By 2004, Obama made headlines with his historic election to the United States Senate. His keynote address at the Democratic National Convention that July showcased his remarkable oratory skills and charisma, propelling him into the national spotlight. In his keynote address, Obama masterfully wove his personal experiences into a broader narrative, highlighting the common threads that bind Americans across all sorts of divides, be they political, cultural, or geographical. This speech didn't just resonate, it reignited interest in his previously under-the-radar memoir, turning it into a bestseller and propelling him into the spotlight within his political party. Fast forward to 2007, Obama threw his hat in the ring for the presidency. After 4 years in the Senate, he stepped down in November 2008 to fully concentrate on his presidential campaign. Despite a fierce primary contest with Hillary Clinton, he clinched the Democratic nomination. By November 2008, Barack Obama made history as the first African-American president of the United States, a milestone that marked significant progress in a nation long plagued by racial divisions. His inauguration in January 2009 was met with widespread celebration and high expectations for change. However, Obama's presidency began under daunting circumstances, with the country grappling with its worst economic downturn since the Great Depression. His administration dove into action with initiatives like the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, aimed at revitalizing the economy and generating new jobs. Throughout his presidency, Obama made significant strides in reducing unemployment. One of his standout accomplishments from his first term was the enactment of the Affordable Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare. This landmark legislation aimed to broaden healthcare access and overhaul insurance regulations, sparking both applause and controversy and igniting a continued debate over American healthcare. On the international front, Obama focused on responsibly winding down the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. His administration also made headlines with a high-profile counter-terrorism success, the operation that led to the death of Osama bin Laden, the man behind the September 11th attacks. A year into his presidency, Obama received the Nobel Peace Prize, honoring his vision for global harmony. However, his approach wasn't without criticism. Some on the left argued that he had continued and even intensified the military and security policies of his predecessor. Obama himself acknowledged the challenges and complexities involved in navigating these issues of the world. When Barack Obama accepted the Nobel Prize in December, he took a moment to remind everyone that while the world is far from perfect, there are times when nations must use force as a last resort to uphold moral principles. In 2012, Obama secured a second term in office, where he continued to tackle a range of issues from climate change to nuclear disarmament. He also pushed for immigration reform, though this faced stiff resistance from Congress and various political roadblocks. Throughout his presidency, Obama navigated a politically divided landscape and frequently used executive orders to push forward his agenda, which drew both support and criticism. Despite these challenges, he achieved notable successes, including reducing the unemployment rate as the economy recovered from the 2008 recession. Under his leadership, significant strides were made in LGBTQ+ rights, with same-sex marriage becoming legal and the repeal of the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy. By the time he wrapped up his presidency in 2017, Obama had left an indelible mark on American politics and society, praised for his ability to connect with a diverse range of people. Since stepping down, Obama and his wife, Michelle, have continued their impactful work in education, healthcare, and social justice. By January 2017, his approval rating was a solid 60%, and he was ranked 18th among the greatest American presidents by Brookings Institution in 2015. With a net worth of $70 million and his presidential duties behind him, Obama was ready to embark on new adventures and enjoy his life beyond the White House, complete with new homes and exciting experiences.